It's football season again, Soul season. When we last saw them, they were in the championship game against Arizona, and that's where it all started again last weekend. Welcome to a new season of the Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore. And welcome to a new season of Soul Football. I'm your host, Lou Tilley. This is the Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore. And we tape it here at Chicky and Pete's in the new Parks Casino in Bensalem. Well, the season begins where it ended a year ago. Last August in New Orleans at the Arena Bowl, the season ends on a down note inside the Soul locker room. A crushing defeat to Arizona.
Kind of shallow right now. Nobody's feeling good about themselves, including myself.
In the offseason, Clint Dolezel takes over as head coach and retools the Soul. A new season begins against the Rattlers in Arizona on national TV.
Rodabah over the top looking for Tiger Jones. He's got it. And he will just strut into the end zone. Touchdown Philadelphia.
This time the Soul get the jump and the lead. The first half is classic Arena League action as Arizona's Nick Davida and the Soul quarterback Dan Rodabah trade touchdown tosses. But the Soul come up short on extra points. They miss or botch 3 in a row. There are 5 touchdowns for each team, but the Rattlers lead 35-32 at the break. Davila hits Perry to start the second half for a 10-point Arizona lead. This time, instead of answering, fullback Derek Ross fumbles it away. The Soul would hold for a field goal, but are behind by 13. Ross would redeem himself with a second touchdown run moments later to get back within 6. But Davila resets the lead at 13 with another strike. 52-39 Rattlers after 3. The new coach, Dolezel, shows faith and calls for Ross again in close, but instead, the game turns.
Derek Ross, and he almost lost, and he did. Arizona football, and it's a foot race, and it's Marcus Pittman. Touchdown.
Now down by 20, the Soul would rally as Ross scores again. An onside kick is in order and recovered by the Soul. And Rodabah now hits Tiger Jones to pull within 7 with 4:24 to go. But Davila is unstoppable, hitting Maurice Purify for the 3rd time in the end zone. The final score, Arizona 66, Philadelphia Soul 52. The Soul a year ago winning 10 straight on their way to the Arena Bowl championship game. We're plus 24 in the turnover department. That was a year ago. They start off the new season on the wrong foot, losing the turnover battle, turning the ball over 4 times, and missing 3 conversions in the process. It's a credit to Dan Rodabah and Tiger Jones that they were in it until the very last minute. And speaking of which, they're our first guests on this first edition of the Soul Insider. We'll be right back.
Soul Insider, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealer, Walgreens Pharmacy at the corner of Happy and Healthy, and Stop Pain. Stop Pain, exactly what it does.
Scott, he's doing a great job for us, whether it be, the steak meat, the lobster, everything is our own brand. It's a testimonial to Foods Galore.
Service is what's made our company. Loyalty, reliability, honesty. Your growth was one of the main reasons why I evolved in the business.
People look at Chicky and Pete's as a success story, but it's actually your success story. It works just like a marriage, because I still have my wife and I still have you.
Bradford White Water Heaters. American-made, American-owned, built to be the best. Why would you buy any other brand? Visit BradfordWhite.com to find a contractor near you.
It's the Hyundai Drive Your Way Drive of the game.
And it's a 2-possession game, and here comes an onside kick. And that ball is loose. Philadelphia says they've got it. Rodabah, quick hitter to Tiger Jones. He gets a block. And Jones forced out of bounds by Arkeith. Rodabah to Brackens. Makes one guy miss. Rodabah to Jones. Jones dives for it. He's in. Touchdown. Philadelphia.
That's the Hyundai Drive Your Way, drive of the game. And welcome back to our first edition of the new season of the Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore. And we tape. Come on up and join us up here Monday evenings around 6, 7 o'clock at Chickies and Pete's at the Park Casino in Ben Salem. I'm Lou Tilley, back with the drive of the game with Tiger Jones, as well as Dan Rodabaugh, the quarterback and wide receiver the stage was set for this Hollywood win by the Soul to avenge last year's Arena Bowl, the game you missed while you were trying to make it with the Philadelphia Eagles. But that's why they play the games. It didn't work out the way you thought, Dan.
Yeah. I mean, I'm proud of how we fought. I thought we fought till the end. We were really excited coming into the game. I thought we had a good game plan, but things just didn't go our way, But the problems that happened in the game, there were things that are all fixable. It's nothing that we can't control. And moving on, you never like having a bye week after a loss because it eats at you all week, especially like losing the Arena Bowl. It eats at you all off season. But I think it'll be good for the team, a nice dose of reality. No one's ever went undefeated in an arena season before, so we're looking forward to getting back to work and getting better. But we're going to take some good things from that loss. So.
Tiger, it was obvious that the chemistry between you and Dan didn't miss a beat from the time you missed at the end of last season.
Oh yeah, I mean, we work hard every day, before, after practice, and that's the biggest thing about our relationship on the field. Like I'm his eyes downfield, basically, and the more we can continue to be on the same page, and we'll continue to get better, and we just got to get everybody, like that. And we'll continue to work hard, and it'll happen for us.
I think it was your second touchdown of the game, Dan, when Tiger just broke the ankles of, I think, 2 defenders and was wide open in the left side of the end zone.
Yeah, we called for him to run a corner route, and the defense dictated what we were going to do. They all came up and tried to run press coverage, and that's a no-no against Tiger Jones. It's almost an automatic big play, and Tiger did a good job eluding the defender. I was a little late delivering the football, but Tiger made a good job adjusting to the back shoulder throw and made a play when we needed it.
Wide open. Very unusual. As I said a moment ago, last year you were plus 24 in the turnover department and minus 4 in this game alone. And with 3 missed extra points, Tiger, it's almost a miracle that you were in the game with a minute to go.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's any league, whether it's Little League, high school, college, it doesn't matter. You turn the ball over versus a good team, you're probably going to lose. And Arizona, they don't make mistakes, and that just spells loss.
And Dan, 3 of the fumbles, 1 of which was an exchange from center, and then 2 with your normal all-pro or your all-league running back, Derek Ross.
Yeah, I mean, it eats away at the team and at all the fans seeing the ball on the ground, but the guy I know it's eating up right now the most is Derek, because he takes pride in being that workhorse, that accountable guy, and it doesn't take any trust or any faith away from we have within Derek. He did a wonderful job blocking, which is a lot more than a lot of other teams asked out of their fullback. Derek does a wonderful job filling up there in 50 protections, blocking nose guards and linebackers, and then he's also extremely good with the football in his hands. And he didn't have his best game, but that's not taking anything away from him. I trust him to be the best back in the league like he is, and I know he's going to come through for us.
And to have that balance that most other teams don't have. Let's look forward then, Tiger. Some changes at the wide receiver since you tried out with the Eagles. Some new guys in there around you. Is there more speed to help you open up the field for yourself? You were the player of the game, by the way, even in the loss.
Yeah, we got a great group of receivers. Al Vance brings a lot of speed to the table on the outside. It's a tough matchup from that position with him in motion. And Thurman, he's a good guy to have in the middle, dictating the offense and defense and stuff. And we're going to continue, like I said before, come together, work hard every day, and we'll get together.
Well, I know that's the key for both of you. April 20th is the home opener. Tickets are available, and it's unusual, as you said. You play your opening game, then you have a bye week, and then 17 in a row. But this next one is very interesting as you go down the road to see your old coach Doug Plank in Orlando down there.
Yeah, they'll be ready. If I know Coach Plank, he's got his guys already, gearing up for it, even though we got a week, in between. But it's going to be a fight. Anytime you go down to Orlando, it's always a big game. Their fans are, wild and crazy and down in the jungle, and I look forward to it.
And Coach knows how to bring the defensive heat, doesn't he, Dan?
Yeah, Doug is a great coach, great guy, and he's going to have his guys ready. Like Tiger said, they've got a test ahead of them this week, and we're going to use our off week to prepare. You give Coach Dalzell 2 weeks to prepare for anybody, and we're going to be sharp and on point on offense. But I know Coach Blank's going to have those DBs playing physical, trying to get hands on our speedy guys. He's going to try to do something to dictate the pass rush to slow us down. But, you know, we look at it as an opportunity. I know we're going to be real hungry after that tough loss this weekend, and I look forward to having another big game out of the offensive line to open up the passing lane. So.
Your quarterback, Dan Rotteball, and your wide receiver, Tiger Jones, back together again. A new game just a couple of weeks away. We'll tell you more about that and continue to recap the opening game of the year when we come back with Brandon Perkins and General Manager Tom Goodhines right after this break on the Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore.
Ticket packages are available for the next Soul home game. Call the ticket office at 888-789-SOUL or PhiladelphiaSoul.com.
It's mind-blowing, astonishing, stupendous. But one word says it all. Hyundai's unbelievable sales event.
You're unbelievable.
Now get a new Elantra for just $139 a month or 2.9% APR plus $750 bonus cash. The Elantra gets an EPA estimated 38 mpg highway, and it's yours for $139 a month or 2.9% APR plus $750 bonus cash. Hurry, the unbelievable sales event ends April 1st.
You're unbelievable.
Bernie Robbins Jewelers in Radnor, Newtown, Marlton, Summers Point, and the Borgata.
If you've been seriously injured in an auto accident, remember this name. If you're being pressured by the insurance company to take a settlement that isn't fair, remember this name. If you need someone to fight for you to get the money you deserve, remember this name. Lundy Law. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW. Winning millions for clients in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware for over 50 years.
And now, the stop pain stop of the game.
Flag is down. Davila crosses it over to one of his linemen. Eisenhart not going to get a lot of carries.
That was the Stop Pain Stop of the Game. You're watching our first edition of the Soul Insider. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Lou Tilley, brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Foods Galore, here at Chicky and Pete's in the beautiful new Parks Casino in Bensalem, just north of the city. We tape on Monday evenings around 6 o'clock. Come on out and join us. And rejoining us again is Soul General Manager Tom Goodhines, my broadcast partner as well, and linebacker Brandon Perkins, back for another season with the Soul, but not the way we hoped the season would start after the Arena Bowl disappointment against these Rattlers.
Yeah, you know, we came into the season one to revenge that game. You know, it was definitely one of our goals, but it wasn't our biggest goal. And one thing we had to do from that game is learn from it and realize that, you know, our goals are still attainable, you know, so we can still go out and accomplish the big goal of winning the championship.
Tom, the defense or the offense with the turnovers put these guys on defense in a tough position all night long.
And Brandon, the veteran coming back to the squad this year, a lot of young talent in the mix. What did you see out of that first game? What were your first impressions of the young guys?
It's a new feel for them. You know, it's adjusting to the arena football game is a transition. You know, and you know, it comes with reps. You know, and I saw a lot of speed from guys like Marquis and Pudge. You know, fans, we call him Pudge. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you know, Cole did his thing in the middle. You know, but you got to learn that we got to collapse the pocket, you know, a little bit more and get a lot more pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, and a guy like Brandon Perkins, Lou, as you know, is a guy of action. He likes to go out and lead by example. When a guy like Perkins speaks, guys listen, because that's the kind of presence he has in that locker room for these guys. What about some of the veteran guys and what they've been able to do for you guys? I know for you personally, it was a matchup, the game within the game with Armstrong, O.D. Armstrong, one of the better fullbacks in the league. But what were your impressions from the veterans and how they came along this offseason?
You know, B-Rob, he does well, you know, coming off the edge and stuff like that. You know, the guys like Akaza on the back end, you know, it all works together, up front and in the back end. You know, like, if we good, they good. Right. And if they good, they make us better. So we definitely have to get that to gel a little bit better for the next game.
And Lou, as you know, in that one of the stops of the game that we didn't make mention of yet was Brandon Perkins' big sack, which stopped the momentum and helped force the Rattlers into a field goal. So, I mean, when you get a field goal, that's considered a stop.
That is a stop, but boy, this guy is a tough quarterback. I think he has 20 touchdown passes in these last 2 games against you, and eventually, if you get back there against Arizona again, say in the championship game, you're going to have to solve the riddle and get to him.
Most definitely. You know, that's big in this league, to get the other quarterbacks rattled a little bit. You know, we can't just let them sit back there and pick us apart. You know, we definitely have to put pressure.
Speaking of rattled, how rattled are you in the locker room with the Souls on NCAA basketball pool? Since you are a Kansas Jayhawk, you're still alive.
I'm excited about it. You know, watching the Jayhawks play definitely excites me. I think they'll go all the way. You know, they got a tough task in Michigan coming up on Friday, but I think they'll get past.
Who you got, Tom?
Well, you know, I'm a Tar Heel guy, so unfortunately we fell to Kansas, but we got our own little pool going. So there's a couple teams I'm pulling. Miami, I got them in the pool. We did a draw out of the hat. So I'm looking for the Hurricanes to represent for the ACC.
Speaking of forecast, though, in this new AFL season that's just underway, you're going to go down, you're going to play your old coach in a couple of weeks, Doug Plank, down in Orlando after an off week. Any personal thoughts about your old defensive leader?
Not really. You know, Coach Plank is a good coach. You know, we respect him while he was here, but now he's on the opposing team. So now we got to go out and try to get a W against him.
It is interesting, though, Tom, because you kind of can expect what kind of team you'll face now.
Well, you know that they're going to come in with a no holds barred mentality. Doug brings that to the table for them. It's going to be the offense that has that different look, because last year they struggled a little bit at that quarterback position. But as you said, Raleigh's a guy there that's going to help that offense come together. Now, can the defense and the new pieces that they grabbed, especially guys from Cleveland, are they going to come together? And are our guys on defense going to step up and play that kind of style of defense that we're used to playing?
By the way, there is a rumor down in Orlando that they might try out a left-handed quarterback by the name of Tim Tebow. But who hasn't had that rumor in the last couple of years? Brandon Perkins, thanks. Tom Goodhines will be rejoining us when we continue our first edition of the year of the Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore.
Ticket packages are available for the next Soul home game. Call the ticket office at 888-789-SOUL or PhiladelphiaSoul.com.
Ready for a little fun? You could scratch your way to instant winning. Play the Pennsylvania Lottery's new instant game, Pennsylvania Millionaires Club, with 5 top prizes of $1 million. It's kind of fun to hit the green. Keep on scratching.
Hi, I'm Tony Mitchell, Brinker Simpson & Company, Certified Public Accountants. We offer comprehensive financial compliance and tax services. As Philadelphia's leading tax and advisory firm, we let our clients say it best.
Tony and his team at Brinker Simpson provided the expertise of a large accounting firm, but didn't forget their small business roots.
Brinker Simpson has a clear business vision that looks beyond spreadsheets and numbers and sees opportunities.
At Brinker Simpson, firm relationships build success.
Scott, he's doing a great job for us, whether it be, you know, the steak meat, the lobster, everything is our own brand. It's a testimonial to Foods Galore.
Service is what's made our company. Loyalty, reliability, honesty. Your growth was one of the main reasons why I evolved in the business.
People look at Chicky and Pete's as a success story, but it's actually your success story. It works just like a marriage, because I still have my wife and I still have you.
Here's the Colonial Marble rock-solid player of the game.
Rodabon. Tiger Jones comes back, gets it, touchdown, Soul. Rodabon to Jones. Jones dives for it, he's in, touchdown Philadelphia.
Tiger Jones, the Colonial Marble rock-solid player of the game, and was he ever? And I'll bet you'll see him in that role before this 18-game regular season is done. Welcome back to our first edition of a new season of The Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore, and we shoot it here at the Parks Casino in Bensalem, inside of Chicken and Pete's. I'm Lou Tilley. We've had Brendan Perkins, we've had Tiger, Dan Radeball, and now General Manager Tom Goodhines rejoins us, along with a very familiar face to fans of Philadelphia football, but now wearing the Soul jersey. Hello to Hollis Thomas. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
What are you doing with the Soul? Are you trying out now? A comeback for you, the former Philadelphia Eagle defensive tackle?
No, I'm just helping out with the defensive line on technique and things of that nature.
What about the indoor game? Have you found any similarities, differences? What has impressed you most since you started working with the Soul, Hollis?
Pretty much the speed of the game, and there's different things, different little integral parts of the defensive line that you can't do in the indoor game that you can't do in the outdoor game. Like for instance, take for the screen. If you see a screen as a defensive lineman in the NFL, you could go get it. Here you have to continue to rush the quarterback or kind of just get your hands up. So it was just like different little nuances like that the guys, let me know that they could or couldn't do.
Now, we brought back one of the greats in Soul history as a coach in Phil Bogle. Tell me a little bit about that relationship with you two working together, his experience in all league guides, won a championship. You were the guy with the NFL experience on the outside. How's that knowledge exchange been going for you two?
It's actually been going pretty good. We've got a good working environment, and he bounces stuff off me, I bounce stuff off him, and he lets me go with the defensive line. And I try to, at first I was kind of like a defensive versus offensive, but it's kind of like we're all together because some of the defensive guys play offense also. So it's kind of like I found myself telling the center, about the snap exchange, about getting it up there. And it's just been great.
Now the advantage we have is Phil's an former all-league offensive lineman. You bring in a guy like Hollis, the defensive knowledge. Let's focus on the defense side a little bit with Dustin Barno, Crazy 8 as you call him. What about a guy like him and also B-Rob, number 12? Those are the two veterans you guys got up front on the defensive side.
Well, both of them have awesome pass rush moves and stuff, and it's pretty much all about the pass. And I was just trying to get them to do some different moves and stuff and just add a little to what they do. I like Crazy 8 because of his strength. I call him Crazy 8 just because of the things he do, and they both take the coach, and I was just trying to teach him a little different stuff that I learned on the inside, because pretty much it's like playing inside of NFL.
Not a lot of space.
Yeah, it's not a lot of space, so it's like kind of having to fight in a phone booth. So, and then I also learned that the bowl, if you run a bowl, you really never gonna get to the quarterback, and you really kind of mess up the defense. So I've been trying to teach those guys some straight up, get up the field type moves and stuff, and be able to counter and stuff, because sometimes the DBs will give you that kind of time.
Hollis, when you were with the Eagles in the Super Bowl Eagles and playing great defensive tackle for them, did you ever get to a Soul game back when the Soul won it all in 2008?
No.
Witness a crowd at home for the Soul?
Actually, you know what? The team didn't come here until I left in 2000. After the Super Bowl season, I was here for one season. I got traded to the Saints, and then that's when the team came here and stuff. So I never got to experience that until I actually came back this past season.
Well, April 20th is the home opener when Jacksonville comes in here, and I know you're going to be behind the bench working with these young guys. And also, Hollis, talk about your new career in broadcasting on sports radio now.
Well, I work with WIP. I'm on Tuesday or Thursday morning from 6 to 10 a.m. But then I'm also I'm a regular on Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, either right before the Phillies game or right after the Phillies game. I think we're going to be doing a lot of games from the ballpark. And on Sunday, I'm on from 10 to 1.
Well, that's where we're going to hear a lot about the Soul this year, right, Tom? You're going to be feeding them all the information.
Absolutely. The guy brings so much knowledge. He's going to be bringing on the new guys, get Coach Dozell and his crew in there. We're just excited about the coaching staff that we've been able to get together. You add Hollis into that mix, and we got an all-star crew.
You having fun?
Most definitely. It's, the guys make it fun too, and it's actually a lot different than I anticipated. Coach Clint and Bogue and pretty much everybody, they welcome me with open arms, and the players also. And it's just been pretty much a pleasure.
Good to see you again, Hollis.
Good to see you again,
and
too,
I'm sure we'll have you back on the show before the season's over. When I come back, I'll look forward to the next Soul game and the road ahead, the season ahead, tell you how you can get tickets and more as the Soul Insider continues, brought to you by Foods Galore.
Ticket packages are available for the next Soul home game. Call the ticket office at 888-789-SOUL or PhiladelphiaSoul.com.
Colonial Marble and Granite. Quality, selection, service, and price. We're the nation's leading fabricator. We buy direct, saving you money. Offering thousands of choices and hundreds of colors. All on site in our one-of-a-kind indoor slab yard. Colonial Marble and Granite. The original home of the $19.99 special. Get your new granite countertop for just $19.99, fully installed. Stop by our King of Prussia Super Showroom and see how easy, affordable, and beautiful your countertops can be. Visit us online at colonialmarble.net.
It's mind-blowing, astonishing, stupendous. But one word says it all. Hyundai's unbelievable sales event.
You're unbelievable.
Now get a new Elantra for just $139 a month or 2.9% APR plus $750 bonus cash. The Elantra gets an EPA estimated 38 mpg highway, and it's yours for $139 a month or 2.9% APR plus $750 bonus cash. Hurry, the unbelievable sales event ends April 1st.
You're unbelievable.
Bradford White Water Heaters. American made, American owned. Built to be the best. Why would you buy any other brand? Visit BradfordWhite.com to find a contractor near you.
If you've been seriously injured in an auto accident, remember this name. If you're being pressured by the insurance company to take a settlement that isn't fair, remember this name. If you need someone to fight for you to get the money you deserve, remember this name. Lundy Law. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW. Winning millions for clients in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware for over 50 years.
The Soul Injury Report is brought to you by 1-800-LUNDY-LAW. Remember this name. The bad news, 6 Soul players on the injury list after the loss. The good news, they have 2 weeks to get ready. The Injury Report is brought to you by 1-800-LUNDY-LAW. Remember this name.
And welcome back to Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore. I mentioned that the home opener is April 20th. That part was correct. The opponent that I mentioned was incorrect. It'll be Cleveland in a great rematch of a terrific rivalry. You don't want to miss that. The Jacksonville game will be on the 27th. That'll be our first local broadcast here on the Comcast Network. I want to thank all of our special guests for coming out from the Soul tonight, and we hope that you'll come out to watch our taping of Soul Insider, brought to you by Foods Galore, every Monday night here at the Parks Casino inside Chicky and Pete's. Now, for all of us, we'll see you in a couple of weeks when the Soul come back to take on Orlando. I'm Lou Tilley. Hope to see you soon.
Soul Insider, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealer, Walgreens Pharmacy at the corner of Happy and Healthy, and Stop Pain. Stop Pain, exactly what it does.